What's up?
Oh, I'm just compiling all the top sports scores, news, and odds so I can make the very best bets.
Me too. BetOnline.ag.
Join today and receive your 50% welcome bonus at betonline.ag.
Well, we now know the dates and times we will all be packing into this stadium this coming fall. I'm Alex Barth. He is Evan Lazar. This is the Foxborough Report, brought to you by betonline.ag. Sign up, place your bets, place them now, betonline.ag, and visit clnsmedia.com/win and use the promo code CLNS50 for 50% cash back. Evan, we knew the opponents.
We did.
So, you know, the schedule release,
we're putting it in order now, though.
Right.
We know the primetime games, the 5 max for the Patriots, no surprise there.
And it could end up being more, could very well end up being more.
We know we're going to New York City on a Monday night, which is a little, well, Newark, but whatever.
Well, we did Buffalo last year on a Monday.
That's true, so it's similar. Hopefully we have a better quarterback than Derek Anderson.
We'll see what Sam Darnold brings,
maybe.
It's just another case to me before we actually get into the Patriots schedule, though, because, you know, we all, us football people, we like to puff out our chest and the NFL runs everything, this and that, the best sport. Really just another example of the NFL taking something that, you know, let's be honest, is not that big of a deal and just dominating the news cycle with it.
Well, I think what's interesting is today, nowadays in the social media age, all these Twitter accounts for all these teams the Falcons had a great Game of Thrones themed schedule release,
who won?
And the Colts had a good one.
So I watched these all last night. Did you see the Jaguars one?
The Jaguars had a good one too.
The best one. It was
I don't know, man. The Falcons one.
No.
They had a ram running over a
Why
saint.
am I blanking? The Jaguars kicker.
The Jaguars kicker.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Scobie. I think. Anyway, they did this whole 5-minute infomercial thing.
Jaguars kickers are.
But he was awesome in it. They made fun of the Colts for hanging the finalist banner.
Yeah.
They made fun of 28-3. Yeah. It was glorious.
Okay, well the Falcons one had a ram running over a saint, and then a ref comes in and doesn't throw the flag. So that's pretty great.
The Jaguars did something like that too for the Saints. They did a ShamWow because it's a yellow towel.
Okay.
The worst one was the Bengals. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that.
So I watched them all last night.
But I think that's the cool part about it now.
Yes.
Is on Twitter, it's like a one-stop shop, right? You get the schedule, and then you get the cool video that maybe the team made to associate with the schedule. And I don't know if anybody actually turned on NFL Network last night and watched the schedule release show. Us here in New England, we knew the schedule hours before the schedule released because of all the leaks.
Props on breaking the opener.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of something that's cool about the league is that it's not just on TV anymore. We now have kind of morphed into social media as well.
And the Patriots did not do one of those videos because, you know, we have enough videos of Super Bowl highlights and all this other garbage. But, you know, we know the schedule now. It's out. I have my breakdown up. You can check that out on clnsmedia.com. The big one I'm looking at for the Patriots, my biggest takeaway from the order is travel should not be an issue for them this year. They have only one instance of true road back-to-backs. They have their longest stretch without a home game is 3 weeks. That's a road game, the bye, and then another road game. And for a team that, once again, is going to be on the other side, not having to travel much, staying out of Buffalo late in the year, going to Miami early in the year, they caught a number of breaks.
They caught a lot of breaks in the schedule. I think this is one of the easier schedules, just the way that it's formatted, that we've had here in New England in a long time. It really is. You know, Miami, we talk about that being a house of horrors. In September, they're 1-1. In December, they're 1-6 in Miami. So they avoid that late trip to Miami. I think that the climate change of going from December winter here in New England down to Miami, where it's 80 degrees, can sometimes throw them off a little bit. I think the Pittsburgh opener is really interesting, and my understanding is that their NFL's going for nostalgia with a lot of these opening matchups. They had the Packers and the Bears in that Thursday night opener, and they go with the Steelers and the Patriots, two storied franchises, the two franchises that now have the most Super Bowl wins in all of NFL history. So I think that that's really where it kind of stems from. I know a lot of people were a little bit disappointed by having the Steelers on opening night, not the Browns or one of the more exciting matchups.
I'm glad it's not the Browns because I know the Browns are great on paper, but that's it right now.
Yeah.
They're great on paper. Like, what happens when we hype that game up? Patriots beat them by 30, and then the Browns are 2-6. You know, what a bummer of an opener.
Yeah.
So
I also wouldn't
I
sleep
think it's
so
better
much
that
on the
game's
Steelers.
later in the year.
Like,
Yeah.
I understand that they're not, they don't have Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell anymore, but James Conner is a very capable replacement, and, they still have Juju, they still have Ben Roethlisberger. I think they're trying to start to build some things on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not saying that the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl next year, but I don't think the Steelers are these, kind of...
They're not as bad as... They still have some talent.
It's not this cakewalk team that everybody's kind of making them out to be. It's kind of funny because a lot of people are saying the Browns are the tougher matchup than the Steelers, and I don't know if that's going to end up being true.
That is something you only say in March.
Right.
And April.
Yeah.
Although you do
It's
mention,
April, yeah.
kind of going early on, you threw out the term cakewalk. A number
Yeah.
of people were saying that the Patriots' early schedule could be a cakewalk. That's the biggest spot of concern for me is this team cannot afford a slow start this year, right?
Yeah.
Like in past years, it sucks to lose to Detroit and Jacksonville early on in the year, but those are losses you can work around. The Miami Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills, and New York Jets, those are three of their first four opponents.
Right.
And then if Pittsburgh is good, that could factor into playoff seeding. Those are must-win games in September.
Yeah.
The Patriots really have not been about must-win games in September the last couple of years.
Right. We just talked to Stephon Gilmore, and he said that really looking at the schedule in November and December isn't really all that important. It's about those first couple of games. And I think the good thing is, though, is not that we are, expecting them to lose the division by any means, but they can bury the division early. If they win those 3 games right off the bat, they can really kind of get into a position where they're in the driver's seat. They could clinch very early this year if they kind of play their cards right. So
they have another Jets game. They play 4 divisional games before the bye. It's the first time they've done that since 2013 when they clinched pretty early.
Right, so they have a chance to clinch early if they take care of business. I think that, we'll see about the rest of the AFC East. I think the Dolphins are going to be pretty bad. I think the Bills are going to be pretty bad. I think the Jets are going to be mediocre to, kind of like an 8-8
But they have those
team.
2. They get both Jets games out of the way early, so they could potentially put some distance there. Obviously, there's a lot more we could get into. You got the Chiefs late in the season, the Browns,
The
all
Chiefs
of it.
late in the season is the game.
That's going to be a fun
If you
game.
want to buy tickets to a game here in Foxborough, Week 14 against the Kansas City Chiefs, there's nothing like Patrick Mahomes in person. I've seen the guy in person twice. I can tell you right now, it is electrifying. Like, it is like, I would say, comparing him to somebody like a peak Michael Vick or something like that. Just a different style of plays, obviously. But you kind of have that, electrifying feeling in the stadium when you know that a guy like that can throw the ball like he can is here.
Any other thoughts on the schedule? Let us know in the comments down below or on Twitter at Patriots CLNS. This edition of the Foxborough Report has been brought to you by betonline.ag. Visit clnsmedia.com/win and use the promo code CLNS50. For Evan Lazar, I'm Alex Barth from Gillette Stadium. Thanks for watching.